very excited for this game. The Patriots are the golden boy team of this season. You beat the Bills. You only have 2 losses, I believe. Are you 7-2 now?
7-2.
7-2, and the Bucs have been fantastic this season. So it's nice to see another test for the Patriots, who have looked good, and they are 7-2. But given how bad they were last season, they've had a bit of an easier schedule, and it will be an easy schedule down the line. So it's just a great litmus test for the Patriots. And we're just going to watch 2 fun teams play. You get to watch Drake May and Baker Mayfield throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
What more could you want? The Bucs are coming off a bye. Hope they got a little healthier. Chris Godwin's still questionable. Bucky Irving's still questionable. Didn't practice today. So in reality, they may not be healthier.
Not yet.
But even the other guys that were playing banged up, they may be more full strength. Ibuka should be closer to full 100%, or maybe is 100%, which would be huge.
Absolutely.
And then on the Patriots side, they have a couple guys questionable as well that are key. Ramondre Stevenson's questionable. Kayshon Boutte likely won't play. And I'm not going to say he's a star, but he adds quality depth. Much needed depth to that wide receiver room. They clearly missed him after he went out on Sunday. And then Christian Gonzalez may not play. And you'd love to line him up against Emeka Ibuka on the outside and let them do battle all night. So a lot of injury stuff to look out for, but especially on the Bucs side, did you get healthier over the bye? Your thoughts on this game, JP?
I'm really excited to see it. It's the Tom Brady Bowl without Tom Brady in it. Tom Brady won't be on the call either. It's going to be Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. They'll be on CBS. Of course, the last time these 2 teams played was in 2021 when Brady returned to Foxborough, and that was a classic against Mac Jones. Patriots are 4-0 on the road this year. One of them being the Bills game, which is their most impressive one, but they've also beaten the Saints, Titans, and Dolphins, who were 3 graveyard teams since like a month ago. Their other wins, of course, are also the Browns, the Falcons last week, the Panthers, who are only 5.5-point favorites at home against the Saints, and they've lost to the Raiders. So this is it's kind of almost a feaster. Not even if that's a terrible phrase. That phrase makes no sense for this. It is. Are they frauds? I guess is just what I'm trying to say. Are they a fraudulent 7-2 team that has played nobody, got their good win against the Bills, which I highlighted in a best bet that was kind of just felt like a good dynamic spot for New England? Well, they get to prove whether or not that's true or not against Tampa Bay, 100%. Tampa Bay off of a bye, too, so the advantage is there towards Tampa Bay. Drake May versus that defense, Levante David and Vita Vea. I'm really curious to see, can they find ground success to help Drake May avoid 3rd and long? Because against Vita Vea in that front, I don't know if handing the ball off to Trevion Henderson will be successful, and it will certainly, without Ramondre Stevenson, is of course going to be more difficult regardless. So I want to see how they handle that. Can they use any quarterback run with Drake May? I really want to see how they handle that in Tampa Bay. I think all advantages kind of lean towards Tampa Bay in this one. The only one they don't have is they're not quite healthy, and New England is technically the hotter team right now. Tampa Bay kind of scraped by New Orleans 2 weeks ago in an ugly, ugly contest. Got the bye week. The week prior to the New Orleans game, they lost to the Lions on prime time. So the vibes and the momentum aren't there like they were at the beginning of the season. And so can they recapture what they had against New England, a really good team, shut them up, and then all of a sudden, okay, Tampa Bay, #1 overall seed in the NFC, is right there back on the page.
Yeah. That's a good point. If you're a believer in vibes playing a factor, the Patriots have ample amounts of that. They're flying high right now because you beat the Bills, and that should very much be celebrated. And then after the Bills, you had a nice runway of not very good teams to go beat up on, and they've done that. Credit to them. But this is definitely a different type of test. Yet another game of what does Drake May have? He's been very impressive both statistically and eye test wise. But this feels like a game of people want to go hand you the MVP. Show up. Go win your team this game on the road against another contender. Go out-duel Baker Mayfield.
It's an MVP battle, really.
Exactly. And he's young. So if he doesn't do it, it's whatever. But if people are going to talk you up and you want to be in that category, deliver. So I'm very excited to see if he can.
Yeah, it's completely out of his control. Now, partially, it is because he is playing so well that he is getting the MVP talk. But he, I imagine, didn't ask for any of this.
100%.
But the best of the best that have become the stars in front of our own eyes have responded when they've gotten this uprush and praise immediately. Jaden Daniels is the example of that last year. He immediately responded to this uprush. He goes out and he beats the number 1 overall seed in the playoffs. And even the win against Tampa Bay the week prior is huge. Drake May, this isn't a playoff game, but it feels that way that it is. New England could be the number 1 overall seed themselves. They're 7-2. They could really go on a run. They still have a really weak schedule. They play the Jets twice, who apparently they play the weaker Jets than we already thought they were going to be since they've tanked with Sauce Gardner.
If that was possible,
and Quinnen Williams. And so everything's out in front of them, and this is kind of a flip game. It could be really the difference between them being winning the division, 1. It could be that. It could also be the difference between if they were to win the division, number 1, number 2, number 3. It's a really big flip game, and it's also a really big flip game, again, I think, for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, the next 3 weeks, host New England, at Buffalo, at the Los Angeles Rams. They're 6-2. They could be 6-5 in a month. Now, they have a really weak schedule to finish out. They still have to play New Orleans, the Dolphins, and the Panthers twice, and as well the Cardinals. So it's still out in front of them. They'll probably go hot into the postseason. But if they're going to be the number 1 overall seed, you got to win these 3 weeks and then set yourself up to land the plane successfully. X's and O-wise, like I said, I want to see Patriots against that front. Can they run the ball and give Drake May favorable positions? And on the Tampa Bay side, are they healthy yet? And if they're not healthy yet, can Baker make up some magic again against Mike Vrabel in this defense that's actually pretty solid, as a Mike Vrabel defense usually is and a New England defense usually is. But I can't wait. It will be the game that most people watch instead of the Carolina-New Orleans
Which they're
game.
making a mistake if they watch this over that.
I agree. Going into picking it, though, I'm going to take Tampa Bay off the bye. I think they got a little bit healthier. I think New England is a little fraudulent. While they're a great team, I think, as my pyramid showed on Tuesday, they are weaker than what their record is. They are not what their record says they are. And I think they will lose this game to Tampa Bay, who I have on Tier 2 still in my pyramid. I think 2.5 is kind of a crazy spread for me. I'd take Tampa Bay up to 4.5, 5.5.
Sure.
And I'll take Tampa Bay to win and cover this game. And Baker Mayfield to make his case for the MVP more than Drake May.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. It does scare me because it feels a bit of blind faith about the Tampa Bay injuries. We may go in this game and they start playing, and then there's no Bucky and there's still no Chris Godwin, and it's like, oh, yeah, maybe and the O-line still looks beat up. It's like, okay, maybe I should have known that,
Yeah.
this just was going to go
I
this
think
way.
very quickly in the first quarter, you can immediately know,
Correct.
oh, shoot, we should have just expected that.
But I'm going to trust that that's not the case, and the bye was beneficial to them, and they go get this win and kind of remind people after a lackluster few weeks, and you're on the bye, like, hey, we're still here, and we're still very real. So I'll take Tampa Bay, and Sanders does not get anything for this game because he didn't pick it. So another loss for Sanders.